So let me start today with this question. Why do you tune into this show? Why do you take the time every day to listen to what I have to say? I'm not just reporting news. I'm not your information source. If you need that, go turn on a newscast. Check your ESPN app. Find the scores. You don't tune in to hear me repeat robotic headlines, give you scores, and then say goodbye. You tune in for my opinion. You tune in for the human element. No one wants robotics yet. No one wants the same old headline, scores, goodbye. No one wants that. No one likes it. On radio, on TV, in podcast form. Everyone wants an opinion. Everyone wants the human element. I know it's going away quicker and quicker. I know eventually there probably won't be a human element, but right now that's what people want. Ratings reflect that. Viewership, listenership, that reflects that. People want human beings delivering opinions. Not robots, not computers, not simulations, humans. For a time, it used to be the same way in baseball. For a time, we used to appreciate the human spirit, the competitive spirit. 1991 World Series, Game 7. Jack Morris, John Smoltz dueling it out for their team. Jack Morris went 10 innings. Smoltz went 9. Twins win the World Series. That is, without a doubt, the greatest baseball game of that decade. One of the greatest ones of all time, period. Why? I didn't see either manager come out after 5 innings and say, Jack or John, you're done. Analytically, you won't succeed past this point. The computer says you won't do well, so we're taking you out. That didn't happen. There was no reliance on computers and analytics and simulations. It was called the competitive spirit. Neither pitcher wanted to be taken out of that game. Neither pitcher wanted to let their team down. Therefore, they stayed in. And in that moment, they rose to the occasion tenfold. They were the aces of their teams, and that game proved why they were. There was no question about taking them out. We didn't run a simulation in the dugout and see what happened. You can't simulate every possible situation. There's always a human element. Apparently, in today's game, though, that's not the case anymore. Apparently, computers tell us exactly how things are going to go all the time, and if you question it, you're a boomer. If you say, I don't agree with the computer, there's a human element, you're immediately castrated. You're done. It's over. You can't question. You must obey only. Listen to the machine. The machine will tell you what to do. Game 6 of the World Series is come and gone. And we've seen that philosophy backfire on one of baseball's most analytically inclined teams. Blake Snell, a Cy Young Award winner, was dealing against Los Angeles in Game 6. 5 innings, no runs. But manager Kevin Cash came out and took out Blake Snell because of analytics. Apparently, during the year, Snell didn't do well the third time around when he faced a batting order. So even though it was Game 6, even though it was the World Series and things could change, it's a different situation, Kevin Cash trusted the computer. He trusted the machine and the simulation, not the human element. Here's a quote from Cash after the game, quote, "The only motive was that the lineup the Dodgers feature is as potent as any in the league. Personally, I felt Blake had done his job and then some. I totally value and respect the questions that come with this move. We just talked about the Jack Morris story, right? He went 10 innings and won Game 7 for the Twins. Here's his response to Kevin Cash taking out Blake Snell. Blake Snell was throwing better tonight than anyone I've ever seen in the World Series. These analytics guys we have now think numbers are more important than having an ace at his best on the hill. Thank you, Jack Morris. We don't appreciate the human element anymore, especially in baseball. We don't appreciate real success anymore in baseball. We appreciate artificial success. We appreciate war. We appreciate approximators. But when it comes to real numbers, we gawk at them. He has 100 RBIs, that means nothing. 200 strikeouts, that's just a number. But if you question war, if you question analytics, if you question stuff like this, you're going to be dragged through the mud. You're a boomer. You know nothing about the game. Apparently. Game 6 of the World Series was actually the best thing that ever happened to the game of baseball. Here's why. Beforehand, analytics were confined to a couple of teams. Sure, everybody kind of practiced them, but some practiced them more than others, the Rays included. And no one knew about them on a national scale. You know why? No one watches Rays baseball. No one knew what their true strategy was. You heard inklings here and there, but you never knew this is what they followed to a T. You never thought that analytics and a computer would get in the way of the human element in Game 6 of the World Series, but it did. Thankfully, it did. Now we've all seen, nationally, everyone, we've seen the problems with analytics. Now, it's okay to question them. Before, if you did, you were labeled a boomer. Now, if you do, you have research, you have evidence with your own eyes to back it up. This was the best thing that could have happened to the game. This is a referendum on analytics and the future of the game. This is baseball's chance to revert back to the ways of old and appreciate real greatness instead of prioritizing artificial success. Get this number. In 2018, Dave Roberts pulled Rich Hill with a 4-0 lead in the 7th inning of Game 4 of the World Series. The Red Sox scored 9 off the bullpen. They won the game. They won the series. 2019, A.J. Hinch pulled Zach Greinke with a 2-1 lead in the 7th inning of World Series Game 7. Nationals won. And this year, Kevin Cash pulls Blake Snell with a 1-0 lead in inning number 6. And the Rays lose the World Series. Where is the analytics crowd here? I thought the third time around you have to pull the starting pitcher, right? Got to pull him out. 3 years in a row in the World Series, the biggest stage, we've seen analytics implode. We have, and I don't want to hear about the argument, well, they used them to get to that point. You know what? Doesn't mean a thing without the ring. You could use them to get anywhere you want, but if you don't win the World Series, it means nothing. Just like the A's. I like Moneyball. It's an inventive strategy. When have they won a World Series with it, though? That's what I thought. The same could be said here. There really hasn't been a modern-day team that's won purely on computer simulations and analytics. You know why? There's a human element to the game. Computers don't play baseball. Men do. Computers can't hit a 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Men can. Women can too if they played. Do you see what I'm getting at here? You could take your analytics to the bank. In the end, you're not winning anything with them. Anything significant. You could win a division here and there. Make a wild card appearance. But no one's won on purely analytics. The Rays proved it too. They were close, but they didn't. In fact, their analytics got in the way of possible success. That's what happened there, just in case you didn't know. I'm so sick of this analytical invasion ruining the game. I had Ryan Dempster on this show this week. He said, the reason why viewership is down is because analytics have gone way up. We said this to open the show. You tune into this show to hear a human, to hear an opinion, not to hear regurgitated news stories. You want the human experience. You want the human element. Baseball's ratings reflect that. People don't want computers. People don't want Harvard graduates in the front office simulating every possible solution and scenario and saying what should and what shouldn't happen. People want the human element. I know baseball is a thinking man's game, that's fine. But you can't think too hard about it. Don't be paralyzed by statistics. That's what the Rays are. That's what a lot of teams are now. You know, we used to have a segment here called WAR, What Is It Good For? WAR is another measure that's extremely misleading. And yet people talk about it like it's worth its weight in gold. There are players on the WAR list that should not be where they are. Mike Trout has a higher WAR than career-long Hall of Famers who've already completed everything and are in the Hall of Fame. How is that possible? I'm not saying Mike Trout's a bad player, but he doesn't have anywhere close to the totals that those guys have. Why are they not rewarded for their longevity in the game? I'm fine with embracing some new technologies. It is helpful to know trends of a hitter or trends of a pitcher, yes. But to solely base every single decision on a chart, on a graph, on a simulation, on a computer code is ridiculous. This is a life lesson. I don't roll dice. I don't run a simulation to decide whether or not I want to eat a sandwich. If I'm hungry, I go eat. Human element. If your pitcher is dealing through 5 innings, you're facing elimination. It's Game 6 of the World Series. Common sense, don't take him out. Don't take him out until he's in big trouble. And he wasn't. He gives up 1 hit, you're done. No, it's the 5th inning. Then the 6th inning. He's dominated. Mookie Betts said after the game, the reason we got started was because Snell was out of the game. Of course it was. You're facing a Cy Young Award-winning pitcher. It'd be way different if you're pitching your number 4, number 5 starter in that game. You're not. You're pitching your ace. Ride him. Let him go. Go back to 1991. Jack Morris gave up 8 hits in 10 innings. In today's world, he would have been pulled by the 6th, even earlier. And we would have never seen what we saw. We would have never seen that great start. Think about that. Think about how baseball and analytics are actually depriving you from greatness. They don't make it. They claim they make it with approximators like WAR, but they actually deprive you from great baseball. And a great example, Game 6. Snell could have gone 9 innings. Maybe. Shutout, complete game, force a game 7. That would have been epic. That would have gone in the history books. That would have been a game to remember. Instead, we remember it for many different reasons. It has nothing to do with Blake Snell. We remember the Dodgers winning. We remember the folly committed by Kevin Cash. And now we remember the Justin Turner COVID case. Those are the headlines that dominated that game, not Blake Snell throws masterpiece, Rays force game 7. See that? See how the computers deprive you of good stuff? They deprive all of us of history? Does anyone else see this? Is it only me? I don't get it. I'm happy it happened, though. Now we've all seen it. It's not just a conspiracy theory. Oh, he doesn't like analytics. He doesn't know anything. No. We saw it on a national level. We saw it fail. Big time. Now the question is, who has the balls to come out and say, this is a flawed system? I do. I've been saying it for years. Yeah, I'm a 20-year-old with a 60-year-old's brain. I don't care. I don't care. I grew up watching pitchers go the distance. 2011, James Shields, 12 complete games. Are we forgetting about that? I'm not scared to question the almighty computer. I'm not scared to question the almighty graph and the almighty simulation. What are we doing? Why are we prioritizing robots and simulations over the human element? Humans play the game. A computer does not hit a 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Bryce Harper can. Mike Trout can. A computer should not determine when a guy should be pulled in a certain situation. It's Game 6 of the World Series. You're facing elimination. Did you run a simulation with that specific scenario in there? No, you didn't. You didn't. Because you can't. Because that's the human element. That's a scenario where you have to throw all of your knowledge about analytics out. It's an unprecedented scenario. Do what's best down here. Do what's best in your gut. Don't listen to a computer. Don't have the computer make the decision for you. That's not how it works. And they wonder why ratings have tanked. People want to watch people. They still do. Believe it or not, I know it's crazy. I know it's really weird, but people still want to watch people. They don't want to watch a computer play baseball. They don't want to watch a simulation tell you how the game's going to end. They want to watch it for themselves. They want to watch the human element, the competitive spirit. And each and every day, each and every year, baseball continues to take it away bit by bit. It's wrong. Call me a boomer, please. Call me a 60-year-old, please. Because 10 years ago, pitchers were throwing 9 innings. So in a matter of 10 years, we've gone from complete games all the time to if you throw 5, you're a genius. That's a seismic shift. Fergie Jenkins, he's been on this show before. The guy regularly threw 250 to 300 innings. He's still alive. He's fine. Why can't we do that today? Because the computer says we shouldn't? Stop taking things at face value. Stop just believing everything. Question it. I'm not afraid to question the computer and question the simulations. I'm not afraid to question analytics. I'm not. I don't care what kind of backlash this gets. It's true. I don't need to trust some Harvard graduate as to how to play baseball. He's not out there. He's never picked up a bat in his life. But he knows how the game works, right? This is a referendum for the future of the game. And I hope the league and their fan base picks the right option. Because if they don't, say goodbye to the baseball you once knew and say goodbye to your massive ratings and massive fan base that continues to dwindle to this day. More to come here on Sports Talk Chicago. My interview with Governor Rod Blagojevich comes up next, so stay tuned. Do you want to make some easy money? The Bears game this weekend. They're a +4 underdog at home to the New Orleans Saints. How would you like to turn that line into plenty of cash? Here's what you have to do. Go to sportstalkchicago.com/cash. sportstalkchicago.com/cash. Illinois residents only, 21 plus. You can get $250 free to bet on that game or any other game coming up this weekend. And you don't need to know a lot about betting. I know nothing about betting. I could still make money off of it. It's that simple. All you have to do, again, is go to sportstalkchicago.com/cash. sportstalkchicago.com/cash. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.